Is NASA truly an aerospace company, or is it closer to a media production company, similar to Netflix? Our story begins with a presentation made in Brevard County.
My name is Justin Harvey. I live at 103 South Osceola, Orlando, 32801. Today I'd like to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in your county. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen, green screen glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires, getting tangled in their harnesses, and even astronauts appearing out of thin air. This begs the obvious question. If they're really up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Now, unfortunately, I can't show you these clips in here today, but I will be sending them to you. Moving on, outside the International Space Station, during spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions. How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again just last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater? Now what's really interesting is that they trained for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Now surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing them to appear if they're in space, because that sure would be something, wouldn't it? I'm calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are indeed faking the funk, it is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further.
The piece of footage you just witnessed, highlighting NASA's production bloopers, and it curiously keeps disappearing from YouTube. Fortunately, the footage gained enough traction to elicit a response from NASA. NASA explained that the water in their spacesuits is used for cooling as they approach the sun, which might seem reasonable at first. However, upon closer inspection, some puzzling issues come to light. Instead of observing water bubbles inside the suits, we actually see air bubbles in suits filled with water. This leaves us questioning how astronauts could carry enough water in their suits to fully immerse themselves. Basic physics tells us that water can't be easily compressed, and there should also be room in the suits for other essential items. This brings NASA's explanation into doubt. Another perplexing explanation from NASA revolves around the unusual interruptions in their live broadcasts. They attribute these interruptions to signal interference caused by the space station's rapid rotation around the Earth. According to NASA, this rotation conveniently creates these well-placed disturbances, but they curiously only affect specific parts of the broadcast, leaving the rest unchanged. This explanation doesn't stand up to scrutiny, even for a curious 10-year-old. It's not just doubtful, it's an insult to the intelligence of anyone seeking plausible answers. These explanations from NASA seem more like imaginative tales than credible reasons. They fail to dispel doubts about their authenticity, making it evident why this explanation lacks credibility. Now, as you delve further into this situation, you might wonder, if this is true, why it hasn't gained greater attention, particularly considering NASA's substantial annual budget of $33 billion, funded by taxpayers' hard-earned money. There are two main reasons why this lack of scrutiny exists. The first reason is simple and easy to understand, while the second reason is a bit more complex. First and foremost, NASA is known for having an outstanding public relations team. This team is famous worldwide for being really good at their job. They are experts at making it difficult for people who want to find the truth. They use clever strategies to make it seem like those who speak out against them are not trustworthy, which can create uncertainty for anyone trying to ask questions or criticize their work. The second reason why NASA remains operational is its unwavering support from the United States government. This strong support grants them considerable sway, in shaping the information that reaches the public. In simpler words, they have the ability to shape the stories and messages that people hear and see, all to make sure this information aligns with their goals and missions. Consider, for example, donation-powered channels like the one you're currently watching. These channels rely on contributions from the public, and as they gain popularity, they often face cancellations or shadow banning. There are numerous barriers to reaching a broader audience, especially when their messages challenge the mainstream narrative. This occurs because government-backed agencies, such as NASA, possess substantial resources and means to control the flow of information. I'm willing to bet that probably this video wasn't recommended to you by YouTube, but rather, you actively sought it out or someone shared it with you.